Hi, this is Christian Baxter, and you're listening to Yours Truly, a place we go to think out loud. What's up, everybody? It's Christian here. I am trying to do something a little different with thinking out loud. Let's see here. See if I can do this. I'm trying to get my screen set up here. I'm not very good at it. Trying to present a screen share. All right. I think this is it. So the reason I'm doing this is because I just want to kind of get this out here quickly without trying to edit a full thing. But anyways, so I wanted to talk about the movie Drea Scenario. It's out on HBO Max, and it's written and directed by Christoph Borgli. Borgli, I don't know. He's from Norway. Probably not Borgli. That sounds like Italian or something. But he is he's from Norway and relatively new director, I believe. I didn't look up. I looked at some of his other movies that we didn't recognize. You know, this one is pretty big. It stars Nicolas Cage, and so I just wanted to bring this into kind of this little corner of the internet conversation, because if you haven't seen it, there are some themes within this movie that it was blowing my mind. I was sitting there watching with my wife. We're actually celebrating our 17th wedding anniversary, and we're staying the night in a Airbnb. And I'm sitting there watching this, and I'm just like, Megan, it's talking about things that I've only heard in this corner of the internet. I haven't seen some of it is broad, but so one of the plot points, and I'm not gonna put in spoilers here, but I'm going to just mention some of the hitting points for TLC stuff. And one is that they have a whole conversation. One of Nicolas Cage's characters, life works has to do with, well, for one, he's an evolutionary biologist professor at a university. So I don't know if that title rings any bells. Brett Weinstein. So it's like, so he's a college professor of evolutionary biology. One plot point is that he actually kind of is put on administrative leave after he's actually persecuted by students, but he gets put on leave. So you can draw your own conclusions on that, about Brett Weinstein's experience at Evergreen. That was a plot point. It wasn't a direct one-to-one, but it really kind of, there was some real connection there. The second thing was that it mentioned, like, his life work. One of his life studies was apparently the ant intelligence, which is this idea about hive mind intelligence in ants. And so we'll do a little trailer here. Let's do that. We can do a little trailer action, I think. So yeah, there's fame can come with some less than desirable side effects. So that's the first thing. He's just an average professor, and everyone starts dreaming about him in their dreams. But there were all these things he talks about memetics in there. It's really contrasting viral fame versus traditional fame in the film. At one point in the movie, he mentioned there's a plot change where fame isn't as rosy as he had thought, and some things happened, and they're like, well, we could pivot and we could put him into more controversial media character interviews, like this media company that Michael Cera is in there, are working with, and they're like, you could go on Joe Rogan or take the like Jordan Peterson route, or appear on Tucker Carlson, and of course they're framing these as controversial characters, and I know, but it's just that they used those, the writer used those three specific things. But he wasn't framing it as necessarily negative. He was basically saying that this is just a pivot point for you with your fame or your virality. You could just go this path. It's just an alternative path. I thought that was very interesting. But again, he was an evolutionary biologist teacher who loses his jobs, persecuted by students. There's this whole idea of the hive mind as a theory, and of course that's language that's used in this, and it specifically was using ants. And if you listen to Grim Grizz, you'll see that he uses that analogy about like a flotilla of meaning, these ants that are on the water and they're all kind of working together in a hive mind thing. And so my personal thoughts about this related to YouTube virality and unintended consequences of becoming famous or infamous, as I'm watching this here with my wife and I'm starting to do things on YouTube. And, it was a healthy perspective, a meta perspective on that. And the thing that I'm really curious about is what were the real inspirations for Christopher Borghili for this film, because they also mentioned Carl Jung as a big piece about dreams and symbols and interpretations and these things showing up. So he has been paying attention to a certain scene on the internet, not one that's conventional in Hollywood. And he didn't, by him calling Rogan and Peterson controversial, it keeps him safe to a degree in the, more mainstream perspective. But it was like, as I was watching this whole thing, and I encourage anybody that's kind of in this little culture here to check it out and give me your feedback on those thoughts in the comments later about your thoughts about this. And I'll be bringing this up in podcast episodes in the future. I just wanted to get something out there that was quick. And let's see, I've got this. Oh, here's my Brett Weinstein point here. Just that, if you look up his story about Evergreen, it maps onto the film. And then the other part was just this neuroscience unearthed ant colonies behave a lot like human brains. So, and there's a whole piece of that as part of the plot. So don't want to spoil the whole thing. But anyways, this has just been a little different way to do some content I'm trying to learn about and play with. So, all right, let's see. Let's see. Yeah, Mills had a few comments here. I didn't have the comments going, but thank you for that, sir. And till next time. Well, I'm gonna do an official till next time on the branding here. Till next time. Hi, this is Christian Baxter, and you're listening to Yours Truly, a place we go to think out loud.